Welcome in, and today we're going to talk about and see really if this is another good patch notes or a bad one or somewhere in the middle. Let's start. Devil Dino, increase maximum health percentage damage dealt by the first 4 attacks of Frenzy Feast, I think that's his F, from 5% to 8%, and the 5th attack from 10 to 12. And selecting a team up with Jeff, increase Surf and Turf maximum duration from 4 to 5 seconds, and healing effect on allies from 40 to 60. Okay, I didn't think he needed too many buffs. I think this may push him kind of to the edge of a bit too good, but let's just see how it really happens. Doctor Strange, increase single hit damage from 16 to 18, projectile from 10 to 12. When selecting the team up with Hulk, reduce gamma cooldown from 8 to 6. Okay, that was the main thing for. I don't think Strange needed any buffs. He was also just pretty strong still. Magneto, when selecting the team up with Scarlet Witch, enhance effect. The metallic chaos projectile hit now adds a minor launch up effect to enemies. Well, again, it's the same thing as Strange. He's already a pretty good tank. Sure, it does upgrade a lot of people are saying a downgrade to his right click, so sure. I don't disagree with the buff itself, but the buff to Magneto in general, I don't think he needs any right now. Dev note, we are slightly weakening Penny's control and survivability. In particular, the immobilize effect applied by her cyber snare was too frequent and impressive, leading to poor counter experience for enemies who decided to increase the cost of applying this control, but in return will increase the freedom of her secondary fire. Okay. Remove the direct immobilize effect upon hitting enemies with cyber snare. New effect now applies a stack of web tracer and a 30% slow for 1 second. The web tracer lasts for 5 seconds. If an enemy, so a 30% slow, okay, for 1 second, then lasts for 5. If an enemy with a web tracer is hit again with a web snare, they'll be immobilized for 0.7 seconds. Adjust cyber web snare to be a charge-based ability, okay, with a maximum of 2 charges. Reduce bonus health cap provided by Penny's webs by 200 to 150. Okay, that's gonna be, I feel like in general that's going to be a nerf, because her web was very integral, like the stuns, to her gameplay loop. It's gonna be really interesting to see how she plays. I do think this is gonna make her worse though. Let's just see though. Rogue, increased the damage reduction multiplier while in defensive stance from 55 to 60. Increased generation shield capacity from 250 to 275. I do think this is needed. She did lose a bit of health last season with damage, so I think this is a good way to bring her back up to speed. Venom, reduced the bonus health provided by symbiotic resilience from 120 to 110. Increased Venom swing cooldown from 8 to 10. Okay. He's never really gotten nerfed too much. I think he has maybe one nerf, not counting team ups, so I do think he actually doesn't need nerfs now. Okay, Black Panther, when selecting his team up with Storm, reduce the area damage to enemies to 40 to 30, increase cooldown from 12 to 50. Good. We did not need a character killing someone in 0.18 seconds, which is below the human reaction time. That wasn't fun for anyone other than Black Panther mains. I'm hoping that 10 damage nerf is enough for that, but even then, he can just do like a spin kick afterwards or whatever. It at least gets rid of that, hopefully. Cyclops, increased cooldown reduction provided by Ricochet from 0.15 to 0.25. When selecting team up with Gambit, increase the concussive beam frequency boost from 10 to 15. I did not need more buffs for Psylocke. He's already pretty strong still, after getting more compensatory buffs in the emergency patch notes. Elsa, when team up with Devil Dino, reduce the health of an activity smoke snare strapped with 100 to 150 and its cooldown duration of 1.5 to 1.2. Okay. They did buff her previously. This is a smaller nerf, but it's still a nerf, so I'll take it. Hela, when team up with Namor, reduce the monster single hit from 15 to 10. Okay, I like that. I think they should revert the bird, though. That's my only really critique of the whole thing right there. Well, there are others, but that's the first thing that came to mind. Moon Knight, adjust Crescent Dart and Mood Blade bounce, decay from 30% to 20% per bounce. When selecting team up with Cloak and Dagger, reduce the moon cooldown from 15 a second to 12. Base effect, increase dash duration from 0.3 to 0.35 and dash distance from 12 to 15. Enhance effect, Moon Knight gains a 3-second healing effect of 20 health a second after leaving the phase state. Again, everyone's saying Moon Knight's bad. He's not bad. There's so many other good DPS. He, in my opinion, Moon Knight never really has been bad other than maybe Season 0 with his horrible, like, very small ult. Still, I don't really agree with this. He shouldn't get that many buffs. Phoenix, increased damage dealt with detonating sparks from 35 to 40. Increase area of damage from 12 to 15. Why are we buffing Phoenix again? We just buffed her. And then emergency patch notes. When selecting the team up with a Rogue, increase telekinetic beatdown damage dealt from 45 to 55. Again, why are we buffing Phoenix? 2 damage buffs. Actually, no, 3 damage buffs for Phoenix, for some reason. Wolverine, Berserk Rage Adjustment, increase rage gain per hit from 5 to 8, increase rage decay timer starting with 4 seconds seconds with no rage to gained after 5. At maximum rage, reduce the decay rate from 15 to 10 a second. Again, why the Wolverine buffs? He was already pretty strong. This is just gonna make him like a worse experience to go against as a tank. I don't really agree with that either. Scarlet Witch, when selecting team up with Doctor Strange, base effect, the ability has an 8-second cooldown with 8-second duration. When activated, Burst is now replaced with Mystic Burst, allowing magic missiles to be fired freely with no energy cost. Okay. Enhanced effect becomes a toggle type ability. When toggled on, Mystic Burst replaces the other burst, allowing magic missiles to be fired frequently with no energy cost. This is gonna be interesting. It's more of a loop now instead of you can use it whenever you want. So in terms of balancing, I do think it's better, but we'll just have to really see how it feels in game. Now, Strategist. Gambit. When selecting the team up with Magneto, adjust the launch up frequency of the spell field from 0.5 seconds to 1 second. Okay, so it's not like boop boop boop, it's boop boop boop. Okay, so less annoying for his team up to go against. Okay, I like that. Jubilee increase energy plasmoid single hit damage from 10 to 11 and single hit healing from 14 to 15. Good. A lot of people are calling her a throw pick, banning every Jubilee they come across in the comp. I like that. Loki increase mystical missile projectile speed from 100 to 120. I really like that. One of the main things about him is his heals felt so slow. This right here will feel so good. I'm really happy about that. They actually buffed Loki. This is gonna be his 7th buff since season 0, guys. Like, he's only gotten 7 buffs, this being the 7th one, and he's been in the game since season 0. White Fox. Reduce the energy cost of her ultimate from 4,800 to 4,300. It was that costly? Dang. After casting, automatically apply the Blessed Ninetales effect to all allies within a 10 meter radius for 3 seconds. Good. They removed her 10% healing anchor bonus. Didn't really give her anything for it. Now they're kind of feeding her into other places, which, okay. Overall, I think this is a decent patch notes. They did have a lot of misses, like buffing Phoenix's damage by 3 times, buffing Cyclops a whole lot, buffing like characters they shouldn't, like Wolverine, like Moon Knight. Okay, I'll just say this. In terms of tank, I'm about 50-50 on. I'll maybe give them, actually, not a 50-50. I'll probably give them like a C on tank. I'll probably give them like a D on really DPS. They're buffing a lot of already strong DPS. They're nerfing some people which do need it, like BP's 0.18 second kill time. And Scarlet Witch I'm not fully against, but like a miss with Wolverine, a miss with Cyclops, a miss with Phoenix, miss with Moon Knight, miss with Elsa. Actually no, they nerfed Elsa. So that's another good one right there. So Black Panther and Elsa, the changes, I don't mind. They're actually good. Everything else on DPS, they do miss that. Strategist, I agree with that. That was a bit annoying. It's now going to be less annoying. Half as frequent, a 50% nerf to the cooldown. Jubilee, I like that. They called her a throw pick. Her base healing without any other abilities was very low. Loki, this just makes him better overall. Easier to hit flyers. Before he was just horrible against like healing any flyers pretty much. Long range, he was always losing every single fight. This will make him more viable. Not like, oh, he's gonna be like instantly better now. He's gonna hit every shot. No, he's still gonna miss. I do think it's the same speed, if not slower, as Bucky's primary, just as another thing right there. And Bucky's primary is still on the lower side of all DPS and people in the game. White Fox also, since they removed a 10% healing a couple seasons ago in season 9, the main patch, and didn't give anything for her, it really hurt her. She's called one of the worst supports now after just removing 10% of her healing, and so giving her other stats other places, like in decrease in ult and more of an ult gain, meaning her teammates gain more from her ultimate. I do think that's a very good thing. So I think on supports they did the best balancing out of everybody. I think I'd probably give the supports like an A. Again, with DPS I'd probably put a D, and then on tank a C. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next YouTube video. See you.